Could you go over what you're exactly doing now? Because I just got to make sure that you and I were on the same page.
Agent completed build Rust and run tests. Here's exactly what I'm doing and why.
Can you go over what you're doing one more time? Just keep it simple, to the point, and tell me exactly what you're doing. What was missing? Because we just implemented the feature and it's not working.
The feature works for idle sleep. Mac OS sees the IO kit assertion and stays awake. When the Mac wakes up, the old assertion ID is dead and nobody recreates it. The backend still thinks inhibited then true, so it never calls engage again. Dojo stays unprotected. What I added: Rust tracks intent versus reality separately. New desired inhibited flag remembers the backend wants sleep blocked, even after macOS kills the actual assertion. Rust listens for macOS wake and sleep kernel events. IO register for system power on a background thread. On sleep, zeros the stale assertion ID. On wake, if intent is still true, creates a fresh assertion automatically. Backend doesn't need to change. The Rust side handles recovery autonomously. That's it. One gap, no wake listener. One fix, add one, re-engage on wake.
But the last question that you had was, should I implement it? What is left to implement? Actually, the exact word was, want me to proceed. Proceed of doing what? Because you've already implemented the second part of the feature, right?
Warnings, leftover NS workspace symbols I didn't end up using. Run full validation, lint, all, type check all Rust tests. Commit. Doing it now.
Okay, I got my answer. We're gonna remove this from the queue and just, we don't need to ask the question again because
I see,
we
the
gave the
old
answer
NS
to us.
workspace approach is still in run observer loop before the IO kit code. Let me clean it up properly. Now fix the remaining CF run loop references that were in the old extern block.
Could you stand back, look at the full file, and see if you really like the whole power management in its entirety? Because I had to reset your session in the middle of the process because I did a rebuild. I want you to step back and look at everything, not just the things that you've done now. And I want you to be happy with what you're doing, okay? Give me the confidence level that I need. Okay, Dojo. Let's see. So right now, it is it's using the utility agent. Utility agent is the agent that just needs to do something. So if you don't need too much thoughtfulness, you just need to do some grunt work. Of course, utility test or utility agent is best for it. Why? Because it's being routed to an LLM that is costing less and is really powerful. Right now, we're on Claude backend um, through their API, and Haiku 4.5 is blazing fast, and it's cheaper supposedly, um, which means our Maestro, which is the main agent, that's the name that I picked for it, is going to automatically decide. Um, allergy season, sorry. Automatically decides on the difficulty level of a task. Sometimes it might do it itself. Sometimes it will go, oh, this is too expensive for me to do. Let me just give it to an agent. And allergies. And of course, it gives it to an agent. But since I have decided not to give voice capabilities to the agents, um,
Agent completed build and test rust.
okay, camera is out of zoom a little bit.
Also check the backend side and the main.rs wiring. Okay, I've read the full file end to end plus the backend service and main.rs wiring. Disengage and engage update intent first, then OS, correct ordering. On system sleep doesn't call release assertion on a stale ID, correct. On system wake checks intent before re-engaging, correct. The I/O kit observer uses I/O register for system power, which is the right API for kernel level wake and sleep, not NS workspace, which misses
Okay.
lid close and some explicit sleep paths. The backend side, power.service.ts, also fine, no changes needed. Agent started run lint type check format. Agent started run rust clippy and tests.
So as you see,
Agent
it
completed
finished
run rust clippy and tests.
whatever that you need to finish. Now the grunt work, which is lint rust, these are the guardrail that I have in place. So crappy code doesn't make it up northbound to the upstream repository. It decided to do those that take a long time, and it's a command to run. Not much thinking is involved. Type of the task
Agent
of the
completed
agent
run lint type check
is
format.
utility. Just do it well.
Tests pass,
Not
but
much
Clippy
thinking
caught a doc
is involved.
indentation issue on line 8.
And
The
at any time,
multi-line //
here you go.
list item needs proper indentation.
This is how you develop
Agent
with
started
AI.
rerun
You put
Clippy
the
check.
guardrail there, and you train your AI to respect the guardrail, and then use the least amount of token on those guardrails. And then you don't leave it to a chance when somebody goes, "Oh,
Agent
Claude Code by
completed
mistake,
rerun Clippy
somebody
check.
leaked the source map."
All
Well, if they
clean.
had what I
Now committing.
have, they would never leak anything. I believe it may have been intentional because a $380 billion company should have guardrail, should not leave it to a new grad with not much experience to have a boo boo. But benefit benefit of doubt is what I have to give to them. Sometimes engineers under a lot of stress, they might do something and bypass things manually. And yeah, so what I try to do here is give you the information that is important for you and hide the information that is not important. But then again, I don't want you to to use 50 key combination to get to the data that you want. You need to see what's going on. Just go to agent that ran utility and complete it. Just click on it and boom, you see everything that it was performed by that agent. You're done. Minimize it. You want to see what's going on with the shell command? You see it live as the data is coming up. It's being streaming up from the back end, from the LLM to the back end and to the UI. This is a GUI and it's quite powerful. You see all this information? You didn't have to know
Committed.
about it.
All 2,425 backend tests plus 400 fall Rust tests passed. Pre-commit hook ran lint, Clippy, type check, format, and full test suites, all green. 2 commits to session, 352 a 2D60B, feed Dojo. Surface remote channel, WhatsApp and Telegram in agent context. Sender ID flows end to end through both direct inject and queue drain paths. 14 to 29 AC3E, feed power. Auto re-engage sleep assertion after system wake. IO kit wake observer with desired inhibited intent tracking, 9 Rust tests.
Here we go. I had the agent to figure out the problem, to fix it for me, to run anything and everything that I need to run. The guardrails were there. Everything is happy. The only thing that is left to, we've committed to accept it. To accept it in the mainstream and main branch, we have to raise a PR. Even though I'm a solo developer right now, I will go through PRs. I've locked down important repositories. Nobody could push to them. I can't push to them. The AI cannot push to them. And nobody could push to the main repository. Watch this. Fantastic job, Dojo. I accept your changes and I ask you to raise a PR. Go for it, buddy. You got to put up with my allergy, I guess. I don't know whether this video is going to make it to online.
Pushing the branch and creating a pull request with a summary of both
and social
features.
media, but
The sender id remote channel awareness across direct inject NQ drain paths, and the IAKit wake observer for automatic sleep assertion re-engagement after explicit system sleep.
here we go.
PR raised, number 466. All yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Watch this. Now, if I click on this, it says, do you want to copy the link? Do you want to open it in a browser? And of course, we're going to copy it and then go look at the browser. I'm not sharing the browser screen at this moment, but it's up and all couple of thousands of tests are running on GitHub Action to be specific. And when everything is green, and only then we're going to merge to main from the feature branch. And then, because I know all the tests passed, sometimes tests pass, but bugs remain. At least we do our best not to break anything. And once it goes to the main branch, and then we're going to pull it down on a build machine. And the build machine, what it does, it just pulls it down, builds it, and we deploy it to our portal. So the image goes on AWS, and it's going to be served by CloudFront. And whenever you want to download something or your application wants to update itself, it goes to the portal. It goes, hey, do you have any update for me? And if there is any update, the portal goes, yeah, I've got an update. Here's the name. These are the things that changed. At that point, you say update. And the portal is going to ask for a 10 minutes TTL for a link that is encrypted from CloudFront and provides that link to the application. Application in turn has 10 minutes to download that new image and reinstall itself, and then restarts itself. And then this is how you get the new application. At no time, any information in its raw format is going to leave your computer, ever. It's by design. We need, of course, to have some unique identification of your application for licensing purposes. and a CPU serial number would be one of them. And so that information is encrypted first, and then the encryption, which is a one-way encryption, it never, like if somebody gets that long string, they never could go back and get your serial number ever, because I never send the serial number up. And I've done all of that because I respect your privacy, and privacy has to be by design, built in, and not an afterthought. Let me show. Here we go. We go to settings. We're gonna click on check for updates. So right now, the version that we have local, it's 250, locally signed. And then the version that is on remote, that is pushed and everybody could download, is 247, which means nobody could get the update except people who are testing for me. And then those people, they could get the prototype here. So this has been a tiny session, but I just wanted to communicate with you what AI Engine Workspace is, what Dojo is all about. And we have Dojo Solo and Dojo Duo, because I believe that you could handle 2 sessions simultaneously. More than 2, you can't focus on neither. Why? Because one session is the focal point for you. The second session is the groundwork in the background. As such, I've given you 2 panels, half and half, which is, let me bring the second Dojo up.
Hi, picking up where we left off. What's next?
So this is Dojo Duo because the second one showed up. This one is Dojo Solo. And so what do? On the left side, let's say you do your primary task, and on the backup, you do stuff that, hey, fix this, test this, do that. And he communicates with you. You could lower the volume, change the voice to a male or female to be different than the first one. You could do whatever that you want. Let me just talk to the second one to tell you that it's working right now, side by side. Hey, Dojo, could you find the temperature for Ottawa, Canada for me, please? Let's get the temperature.
Hey Val, let me grab that for you.
And we have a weather channel tool.
It's
There we
currently
go.
8 degrees Celsius in Ottawa, partly cloudy and feels like 4.
This is the fastest way you could get to the temperature. Sometimes you just want to go out for a walk while your agent is working for you. So it would be really nice to quickly say, what's the temperature, instead of hopping on Google and from site to site and figuring out what's going on, or looking at your iPhone. You could do that, but it's 2 seconds for you to just type in what's the temperature. Let's get one more temperature. What is the temperature for San Diego, California? Oh, I got to press the I have to press the microphone first. By the way, if you, let me go here. Let me move my face out of the way. If you say something that you don't like, just go on top left, and you could, here you go. You go there, and you could delete it. At any time that you want to transcribe something for social media, you don't want to type it, just come here and talk about it. When you're done, then you could copy it. Copy, and then take it over. So you could actually use this system to transcribe your thoughts instead of talking to Apple dictation, which I've tested, takes your voice packets, the tone of your voice and everything, sends it to a server and brings the transcription down, and it's really slow. Everything is done locally. Everything is done locally for your privacy. TTS, which is text to speech, STT, which is speech to text, fully local. So now let's get another temperature. Hey Dojo, could you get the temperature for San Diego, California, my favorite city as well? Let's get another temperature.
Getting the current temperature for San Diego right now. Here's the current weather for San Diego, California. Condition value. Temperature 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Condition partly cloudy. Humidity 43%. Wind 4H. Income classic San Diego mild and pleasant. Easy to see why it's a favorite.
All right. So this is the temperature for San Diego. Let me bring my camera back on. So Dojo Duo, the second one, a secondary, is not my primary focus. I don't need to give it so much space. So what I do, I add more space to my primary, and I just leave a little bit of space to the secondary. Sometimes I just let the secondary run in the background. It's really easy. All I have to do is just to allocate all the space to the primary. It goes the other way around as well. So you could go the other way around, which is kind of nice. Everything is reactive, reacts to the dimension, and everything reformats itself to present itself to you the best way that it can. Now, let me show you some remote feature because I got the temperature. I am in, let's say, San Diego. I just want to go for a walk, at the beach. Let me go and say Telegram. I'm going to ensure Telegram is on. And then I'm going to take my phone, pretend to be walking on the beach, and I still want to see what's going on. After this, I want to go to a Persian restaurant, maybe somewhere in Toronto, and have a dish. I don't know what to order. And I say, what dish to order here? And what I do, I just send. Here you go. So Telegram send a message to your Dojo.
Thamel Restaurant is a northern and Persian Iranian restaurant in Toronto. Great pick. Let me look up their menu highlights.
I just took a screenshot from Google, send it. Sometimes you're just walking in front of the restaurant, take a picture of the restaurant, send it in to your agent. Agent will take care of everything for you. Now it's going to research, and figure out the best dish to recommend to you. And then you decide whether to walk in or not. It is doing a web search for you and thinking. Whether it's Dojo or other AI agents, we're bound to the LLMs.
I recommended top Persian dishes to try at Thamel Restaurant in Toronto, including kubata, juja kebab, and beghale polo.
There you go. Figured out the best dishes, and then gave me a pro tip as well. If you go there, make sure you get this side dish and stuff like that. And very powerful, very powerful. Let me show one more thing to you guys. I do have, alrighty. You just drag an image there. I guess I need to drag an image. What did I do? Is this going to be part of this? All right. Let me drag an image here and tell. Hey Dojo, could you describe the attached image? The beauty of Dojo is that it just gives you built in. Look at that. Immediately you get access to what you drag and drop. You could drag and drop images, files, PDFs. It could handle
It's a stunning
any
digital
and all
art piece
files.
of a golden eagle rendered entirely in polished gold metal against a black background.
There you go. And the beauty, the icing on the cake is whenever you drag and drop an image here, Dojo sends the link to the image to the backend. The backend grabs the image and it runs it through FFmpeg, which is built in, and then or packaged in, and then it reduces it by 90 to 95%. So why? Because we want to convert it to base 64 and send it to the LLM. We don't want to waste your money on tokens that we don't. And I have done a lot of benchmark, and I noticed between 90 to 91% is a good legible image reduction. And it just sends the copy of the image to the LLM. LLM is a multimodal, so it just understands, or multimodal. It understands image as well, text and image. And then he just looks at it and it comes back to you and you say, okay, I found the image. This is quite powerful because when it comes to E2E, end-to-end testing, there is a Chromium headless built in Dojo. So it doesn't need MCP or any other browser automation tools. When you want to do E2E, not only use the built-in FFmpeg to record the session, it could carry out everything with a voiceover, and it could take screenshots of every step and narrate whatever that he's doing, verify visually what's going on. It's priceless when your end-to-end pretends to be a customer and goes through every single step of your server, backend, whatever that you have. And of course, I've trained the LLM, or Dojo knows whenever it's creating HTML, JavaScript, and all the stuff that we require for SaaS, it will put an attribute tag, and this tag is going to help the next session of E2E to automatically find what it needs to find and click on it or react to it instead of looking at a lot of JavaScript to figure things out. Because I don't want a ton of token to be spent on realizing where the button is. Automatically, you could search based on the data E2E attributes that we inject during building our website. I've done everything that I could do to save you money. It is fast. It is performant. It knows how to cache properly. It knows how to optimize properly. It does everything autonomously, but it gives you full power. And of course, mid-session, you could go and change your LLM. We were talking to this guy with Anthropic's endpoint. Watch this. I am going to open AI now. You guys ready for this? Okay. Here we go. Could you tell me what is this image? Mid-session, actually, I sent
Task
it to the wrong
canceled.
guy.
What would you
Could you tell me what is in this image? So this is the image, and it took the image and it's processing it. But this
The
time
image
around,
shows a golden dove in flight carrying an olive branch.
OpenAI did it. Halfway through, I switched the LLM underneath. Why? Because sometimes Anthropic throttles you. Sometimes they have their rush hour bans. There's so many things. You say, you know what? Let me just switch to OpenAI. OpenAI does some tricks on you. Let me switch to Grok. Grok is too expensive, bloody fast. You go to Gemini. Just go whatever you want. The power is yours. It makes the best decisions for you, but it lets you to take over. Olama is supported as well. So all you have to do is just go to here and then say, I need, here actually I've set up Olama. This is Olama local. Just run Gamma 4 and then say, anything that is utility and stuff, use the local because I don't want to pay for the tokens with the API keys that I've got. That was a very short demo. You saw we implemented a feature, we pushed it, the PR is ready. Let me look at the PR, see if he passed. And yep, okay. Let's show this to you as well. I've merged it in. I'm going to dedicate more space to the PR. Okay, PR is merged. Can you bring the PR? Actually, check out main. Pull main. So the new merge data comes down. And then run ALI space. Maybe I typed this in. So the beauty is, you see, you could take over and type the rest in. I could run this myself. Here we go. Now, let me just do it this way, PNPM tag. If I do PNPM tag, it automatically tags main because I know where I stand, puts the version number and everything is ready. Let's do that first. This way, we could and find things based on the tags and the numbers. Here you go. So I checked that main and did a pull and tagged
Done. Main is up to date and tagged as app 0.
Now let me
250.
quickly verify it.
0.
All right. So what I did, I just kicked the release system with the date that the new version that we've got, and then release system is spinning and it's going to deploy what we just did together. The deployment is going to be full, but I have to manually go there and say I promote it to public, so you could download it as well. This part I want it to be manual at this stage of the company's life. So now you might say, hey, you know, I really like Cloud Code. I can't just leave Cloud Code right now because Cloud Code is command line is really good. And I said, no problem. You want command line? I got you covered. Dojo to the rescue. Let's go to half an F. And then you come down here, you click on terminal. Now I've got terminal, right? Now I say Dojo. Here we go. You want Dojo command line? In terminal, you got it. You want to ask a question, Dojo, what is the temp for, let me say, Oakland? We just ask Dojo to quickly get something for us. And Dojo right now goes to the primary setup that we've got, figures out the LLM setup and the token keys and everything, and does a side channel. There you go. Got the data, which means now you could automate against it. You want it full, beautiful GUI? You've got it. You want to automate against it? You've got it. You want to use the secondary. Let's say primary was secondary. Yeah. Primary was, let's say, Anthropic. The secondary was OpenAI. Now I say, hey, you know, get the data, but use the secondary key and configuration. And then he just now went to OpenAI. This is what we got from OpenAI. This is live coming from 2 different providers. I don't know which graphic cards or GPU in the world serve these 2, but they didn't come from the same company. So you have the power to automate against that. If you have OpenClaw and you want to use OpenClaw, just get OpenClaw, use Dojo. It just goes there and does whatever that you need. But sometimes you say, no, that's not enough. I want to use Cloud Code, Codex CLI, OpenCode, Gemini CLI, and all the whole 9 yards. I want to use them as well. I'm not ready fully to trust Dojo. But I said, by all means, trust is earned. I don't ask you to trust it. To do that, I got to make sure that I give you 2 terminals. So we're going to go to 2 terminals. Here I go. You don't believe this is a full terminal inside Dojo? Here you go. The beauty of this terminal is that if you're running, let's say Git or GH, and you want the GitHub token to be available to GH, only to GH, not an NPM or a PNPM package that is going to hack your system and is going to steal your stuff and is going to commit a virus on your behalf and inject it in your minor or patch version. Here, we allow you to just set your keys. Let me show you the key setup. We go to settings, and then we're going to quickly go to, let me see, environment. Oh, actually, I could show it to you here. So we are going to the environment. Click on this and go to environment. I have 2 screens I need to find. There we go. You could set any keys that you want or remove them. You just go here, you say, I have a key, and key is very important to me. It has to remain secret, but I can't put it in my Zsha record or a bash record. And it's snowing outside. So you say, very important key, foo bar, and then you give it a value. By the way, whenever you use Dojo or you use AI Engine Workspace with Dojo and everything, at no time you see a important secret piece of information be printed as you type it. I protect your privacy, even your email. So we created this. Now we go here and say, this should be available only when somebody runs Git, somebody runs GitHub command, somebody runs AWS command. And then I say add. Now, within Dojo environment, if you run those 3, we pre-inject the key beforehand and then run them in the context. No other commands and tools and utilities will have access to this. You know why? Because we can't even see it now. We encrypted a 2-way encryption here, put it in the database, is encrypted into the database, and when Git is about to run, we bring it back from the database, decrypt it, inject it, and run Git. This is for your protection. I had to have it for myself to make sure my system is not, compromised, but I give it to you as well. So since we're here, let me show you some more stuff. We have the providers. I told you how you set up a provider. We have right now at this moment, we have 3 provider protocol type. Either they're Anthropic's API format. 90% of the worlds, they use OpenAI format. Gemini goes, okay, I'm going to make it a little bit different so annoy people. So 3 of them. And then if you pick Anthropic's API, you could pick Anthropic's or Amazon Bedrock or Google Vertex AI. Bunch of others are available as well. Or you could just provide your custom. Just tell us what it is. If you go to OpenAI, I've pre-configured a few. I haven't had a chance to test all of them. I trust their API backend, respect the protocol as is. But you could go here and set up whatever that you want. Here you go, Olama local or cloud. Or some of you like OpenStudio. So everything is supported. Meta has Llama supported, Hugging Face supported. And for Gemini, only Gemini, maybe AI Dojo is going to provide their own keys as well, or customs. Here is how you set up your providers. The beauty is when you go to OpenAI, they're very nice that they let you bring your plans over. You click on this and we get a key. We get a link. If you want full automation, click on the browser and authorize Dojo to have your key, and boom, the key is going to be encrypted and saved in database to use with Dojo. Or you could copy the link, go there, bring the key and bring it over. If you don't want that, you could click on key and we give you the place that you could go and grab your key and bring it back. As soon as you put your key here and press the button, it'll be saved. And when it's saved, it comes to this list. You could disable it for the time being. You could enable it. And you could come here and say, fetch the models live. Here, I do a fetch. And I do a live fetch of what is available to you, to us, and what's the context. We have 5.4. Context is 1 million. Very nice. As soon as you do that and you go to the models, it's available there. And he automatically picks for the focus model. You could go auto, which is a medium when it comes to thoughtfulness, reasoning. Fast is the low. And then we have balance. He decides between A and B and C. And then max is just burn the GPU. If you need to do something with a little bit of smart, Dojo is being enhanced to understand that, okay, I got to give it to a general delegation of agents. If you need to do one thing and you just need to do it well, but you don't need to think, just find all the files of this type that would be given to the utility agents. Cheapest one, fastest one. And here is 120. 120 is how long by default the agent will wait. After that, it just times out if you cannot finish certain tasks within that amount of time. The main agent, the maestro, I call it, has the power to override. And everything is project-based. You open a project, it's really easy. You just click on Add Project, pick a directory from your system or create one, and then come here. I want you to have fine mix and match. It has to be granular when it comes to power that you give to your agent. I want you to be confident and comfortable. If I choose the directory and I click apply, pretty much I have given access to that repository or that folder. But anything that in mutation nature, not read, that the AI needs to do, the Dojo agent needs to do, that has to come to you with a question. Hey, can I do this? Can I do this? And you have to say yes for this session, yes for all the tasks like this. And it's annoying. When you click on YOLO, I don't know who came up with this, you only live once. It bypasses the annoying permission ask. It goes, okay, in this directory, you've given me access to do whatever that I want. We could cripple Dojo to plan mode. Anything you want, don't ask me a question, but it's read only, unless you write the file, the plan file. Sometimes you want to have Dojo have access to your download directory, image directory for convenience, but not your root directory, not your network storage directories, none of that. So you give it extended permission. Extended permission means don't ask me too many questions. You're bound to this folder, but you could look at the other folders that they're not that important. When you say full access, you say do whatever you want, either USB attached to my computer, either network NAS is attached to my computer, free for all. Just go and have fun. And that is that. Of course, every time we talk to Dojo, it is going to be recording the conversation in a session. That's how the session is going to be compacted, optimized to make sure you don't spend too much token and too much money. And anytime you're done with a specific task, just do a /new, and boom, it's going to put you in a new session, which means the context is going to be new, which means you don't have to pay for the data you don't care about anymore just to send it to your LLM. So LLM sends you a bill. And setting is really important for me because I provide privacy by design. Web search, right now, EXA has some minimum, 1,000 per month web search that we go through them. After that, you could get an account with $7 for another 1,000 per day or per month. You figure it out. You get the MCP, you bring it in, and then MCP is going to override that. A lot of people, they don't want any data to leave from their computers. You just come here and zap it. Now, the web search is not going to be able to go anywhere. And in turn, you could come here and add a server and say, okay, I'm buying web search from DuckDuckGo or Brave or whatever. You just set it up there. Here, it's quite powerful because any MCP one or many that you have, it's going to go there. And that is great. I do recommend that when you set up an MCP, just make sure that you disable it when you don't need it. And the last item here is the skill set. Let's say you are a founder, you just created something really neat and you want to protect it. Well, let me just go there and, apply for a patent. And then you click on patent, and then two show up here. One is Canada, one is for the United States. So the US one we're interested in, let's say, I'm located in Canada, but I want to get it there as well. I said, let me see what this is. And then it loads the information that has been fetched from the website and everywhere, pruned for the time being today. And it's made available to your agent immediately. It's not a legal advice. Is the information that is there by default, but cleaned up and pruned for your LLM to understand it. If you like it and you want, Dojo is really good at that. I made sure of that. And these patent skills, I put them there. Dojo is going to look at those. You give them the information when you need it. The beauty is that the moment you turn it off, it just gets disappeared from your context. You don't pay for it constantly. Now, Dojo is going to know that and just point Dojo to the repository, say, I want a patent for this. And Dojo does everything for you. It's going to open a browser, go to YouTube, go to everywhere to figure out what you've done. Especially for trademark, this is really good because for trademark, you want to say, hey, I've used this name before anybody else. Dojo is going to go fact-finding mission is going to be really good at because it has a browser, it has web search, it's got all the tools. Now it's got the knowledge. It's going to grab everything, bring it into a folder, create the folder, and just say the name of the lawyers that you're working with, and it's going to research the lawyer for you. A will research the lawyer for you and prepare the package you need for the patent, provisional patent, any kind, or trademark. I'll do it all for you. And then all you have to do is just click, copy, send it to your lawyer, and then take it from there. When the lawyer gets back to you with the email and stuff, it's going to read the email for you. You provide the email to it. And it's going to see whether you should sign it or not. And definitely talk to Dojo before you sign anything. Remember, Dojo is not a lawyer. Dojo is just going to go to the LLM, which is somebody else's, get the information and talk to you. Don't think that AI engine or Dojo is going to be a lawyer for you. No, whatever that you talk to, Dojo is going to send that to the LLM. You have a problem, go talk to your LLM providers. What I've created here, I created for myself and I let you use it as well. not a legal advice. Don't come to Dojo for health advice, for finance advice, for legal advice, none of those. Just come here and say, this is my bill. Just scan it and localize it and put it in an Excel sheet. Keep track of my in and out and all this stuff. So if you need it, you click on it and it gets injected and it tells you exactly how many tokens you pay for during the usage of that skill. You need one more? Here you go. Now, every time you communicate with the LLM, you paid 5.7K of token. Each token is 4 words, 4 letters. So you figure out how much you pay. If you don't need it, when you're done, you just come and turn them off. There are thousands of local skills that I've curated, added there, and I added a bunch of my own there for you to enjoy. But if you have more skills, your company has internal skills, you just come here and provide the repository and click on install and boom, it gets installed. I let you figure out the format of those repositories because those who create the skills, they know what to do. Very powerful indeed. Now, context. I've figured out the diminishing result, the point of diminishing result when it comes to context management. Whether you have 200K, whether you have 1 million K of contacts, and each one has its own gauge. At 40%, we definitely go for, that's the latest we go for our optimization. We could go earlier as well. But sometimes you say, no, I'm writing a book. I need all the context to be here. I have hundreds of PDF. Don't shrink it down. I pay for it. Don't shrink it down. No problem. Boom. You put your comfort zone at 80%. We need to stop at 80. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to compact the conversation and we're going to overshoot 1 million and that session is going to go away. It's not going to be usable. It's not going to be useful. I don't have a mechanism to say just prune the last message and stuff. So be very careful when we touch this. Just leave it at 40%. So that is that. And I've put the information here. This is for this model, 1 million. And you should know what is optimized. If you don't want hallucination, if you don't want too much deviation from the plans, let the system take care of itself. But at some point you say, no, I need to optimize now. And then you just click on optimize. It goes, hey, not much conversation for me to optimize. It just doesn't do anything for you because we just ask a few simple questions. Anytime you want your system to talk more, you go to verbosity and say, okay, give it to me a little bit more than brief. And then now the system is going to talk to you a little bit more, like explaining things. If you go to verbosity brief, it's going to say this image shows a golden, whatever, winged spread, whatever, and then first line. There's no olive branch, nothing. There's just one small sentence. And then you say verbosity, talkative. It's going to give you another sentence. Maybe if you want everything, you go to verbosity, chatty. And this is it. If you're writing a book and you're using Dojo to help you out, definitely go chatty because the context, the cue depth, everything is going to be way bigger. So you could take a PDF and talk about the whole PDF. If you're trying to do audiobooks and then you give you a PDF and it goes, read this, definitely you got to do this. Let me show you this. You go to settings and then we're going to go to voice setting modes. We set it to chatty and then we come here, we say how many words. Just move it to 1,000, more than 1,000, it's going to be. And then here, say I want 5, 6, 7, 10, maybe 20. Now, because you're turning a book to an audio, real-timeness it's irrelevant. It doesn't have to be real time. So it's going to load everything in and 1,000 words per queue items. And then you sit there and then you tell it to record it and toss it into that directory. And then you take the recording, put it to your iPhone and just enjoy it. But I do recommend if you're developing software, you need to have real time voiceover because it's teaching you everything that he's doing is telling you exactly what he's doing. Click on reset. This is what I recommend for many people. But if you really want true real time, put it on 2 and then leave the rest alone. Then when he talks to you, if you find something stale, a new packet comes in and 2 items are occupied, it drops the oldest one, replaces, shifts everything, which means you always get the last word, not the one that is irrelevant, not the one that the information for it has scrolled away from the screen. And that was that. Remote by design. As you see, the title says private groups only. I don't want random people to attack your system because you pay for it. You create a group. I let you figure out. Dojo is going to help you to set up the group. Just talk to it. Take an image of this page and say, hey, Dojo, I need to set this up. Help me out. And it's going to tell you exactly how to set up the bots and do whatever. And then we have Dojo Solo, Dojo Duo, primary and secondary. You get 2 separate channels. And then you add your own account to it as an admin. And you add the chatbot for Telegram to it as an admin. And you get 2 keys. You put the keys there. And then all you do is just click and test. And here you go. This message was sent to the primary channel and I received it on my phone. You could enable it from far. Sometimes you forget and they say, oh, let me for security just enable it now. And then when I'm done, I disable it, even though it's private. So you go there, you put the pin in, and that's great. Sometimes you're in a car, you're driving, and you want to talk. I do not recommend texting when you're driving, but you could talk, right? You press the button, you're talking, but you have your friends in the car, they're talking as well. You don't want their words to come into your speech. You put a wake word there, and you say, hey, Dojo. The moment you say, hey, Dojo, it just, starts from there, not whatever that your friends were talking about before. And if you put the wake word as hey, Dojo, he's going to pick it up and then drop hey, Dojo and insert the rest to Telegram, which is powerful. Power management is, of course, is the task that we just started today. If you set your computer to sleep, of course, Dojo is going to go to sleep. Here you say, I'm on AC. If I'm on AC and I'm a laptop, keep Dojo alive. Or just keep Dojo alive because I'm on a desktop anyways. This way, remotely, you could communicate with it. The computer never goes to sleep. Privacy is really important to me. Therefore, I do my best. Nothing in life is guaranteed to protect your privacy. And by default, nothing comes to me. I don't want anything from you. But I appreciate if you set that up. So if something crashes on your system, only to crash report, the logic, nothing private from your system. That comes up to the system. I could go check it out, fix it, and push a fix for everybody. Sometimes it's really good. I'm fine-tuning another voice, female voice, male voice. It would be really nice to figure out which voice is people's favorite. 1 million people have downloaded the application and 80% of people like Cyrus or Anahita or the system default, Siri 1, 2, 3, 4. If you enable that, I get a little bit of extra information. These are all anonymous. Nothing except, hey, somebody used this voice. Now, as far as advanced goes, you don't have to worry about any of these. But if you're technical enough, I encourage you to go and look. And of course, credit is due when credit is due, acknowledgement. Any package that I've used, they're in the open. You could look at the name of the packages that I've used. I have used Bun, so the backend running in Bun. I've used Rust. The whole application is coming up in Rust, of course, TypeScript. I have used anything and everything is here, and you click on it and I take you to their website as well. And I put the licensing type. Anything MIT and Apache I've used, GPL and stuff I respect and I don't use. There is one thing here that I want to show you, Phonomizer. Phonomizer helps to turn text to speech. I've got a built-in Phonomizer. It's easy for me to train the voice on a technical term. But sometimes you say, hey, Val, I want the external Phonomizer. Go and install it and then enable it. The moment that the system is enabled, I see it, I go and use it. But I would not install it for you because it's GPL and I have to respect their licensing terms. You install it, I use it. You don't install it, I fall back to the internal, which is great enough. At this moment, when I find time, I'm going to go back and fine tune all those voices, make them great. But I, of course, let you to route to your system voice, let's say on Mac. If you're in Turkey and you want Dojo to speak in Turkish with you, no problem. Just go there. And for now, the input, speech to text, I only transcribe English. So, but you could type in English because programming language, you have to type in English anyways. But if you want to hear in Turkish, let's say in French, in German, just go to your Mac computer and choose the language, say French, and then come and tell Dojo, hey Dojo, from now on, speak French to me. And just say, hey, I'm speaking English to you because my keyboard is English, but I want you to communicate with me in French. And I'll do it. Many languages are supported by default. And I have left to right, right to left, as you see. And I speak this language, Parsi, Persian. It is there by default. And German, Hindi, we have Japan and Koreans. Just, if you don't find your language here, no disrespect to you. There's just the amount of resources that I've got time-wise allowed me to add 16 languages for now. If you need your language here, just let me know, and I do my best to bring it in when time comes. If you use Dojo the way that I use it to screencast or whatever, sometimes you need a different resolution. I allow you to drag the corner, but sometimes you want exact resolution. You just click on whatever that you want. You click on any of these, and then it shows up, and then boom, go and do your recording. Let me show you one more thing, audio. I want you as a streamer to have full power. I don't want to, Mac, if you run YouTube on Mac, the audio goes to your system audio. I don't want to be like that. You have the power to send the audio wherever you want. I've spent a lot of time to give you a voice audio router and music. So you come here, you just decide what and where you want to send your music. I'm not going to change anything because I'm recording this. I'm right now sending the audio to a virtual channel and pick it up and then send it to OBS for recording.
This is your primary voice on primary device Black Hole 2CH.
This is your master volume. If you want night mode, which means no voice should go above some certain value, you come to the master volume for that channel, that speaker, set it up here. Why? Because some speakers, they're really loud at 20%. Your AirPod could be so faint that you can't even hear it at 20%. You will decide what volume you want. And look how many output devices that I've got. Immediately detects whether they're bidirectional, virtual, aggregate, whatever that you want. the system picks it up for you. And it doubles with the players that I've created just for AI engine, dedicated player for audio. Powerful. Now, when you are done with your audio output device, you come here and you say, let me set up the best voice for me. Anahita.
I am Anahita, your potential primary voice.
I am Cyrus, your potential primary voice.
These two, I've baked them in. So I picked these two, one male vocal, one female vocal. And both Cyrus, the great, and Anahita, the goddess of water, Persia. Those are ancient Persian characters, near and dear to my heart, and I put them in. Alex is free for you to choose whatever you want. I've set it up to one default value.
I am Alex, your potential favorite primary voice.
If you don't like that, come here on top. Let me remove my... All right, come click on change favorite. And here we go. If you feel lucky, just click on something.
I am speaker 542, your potential
I am speaker 751, your
I am speaker 236, your potential
Sometimes
favorite
you just have the
primary
number,
voice.
you just put the number. Say, hey, a speaker 0.
I am speaker 0, your potential favorite primary voice.
So I like this one. I choose it as my favorite.
I am speaker 0, your favorite primary voice.
Now, watch this.
I am Alex, your potential favorite primary voice.
Now you've changed your favorite voice. So 900 voices available for you to choose from. Let's go and check. Let me just remove this. 902 extra voices, plus 3 that we've got there. That's 905 voices. And all these voices are synthesized locally on your machine. Nothing goes out. You don't need to pay extra for 11 labs or any providers that does text-to-speech. Nothing. Everything is local. But as I mentioned, sometimes you say, Val, I don't like those voices. Can I use Siri? I say, no problem.
I'm system default, your current primary voice.
Here you go. Now, whatever you send there, it's going to be given to Siri. Let's change the language quickly. And I'm going to go to Persian and I click on Cyrus. Cyrus
I
is
am
American
Cyrus,
English.
your potential primary voice. I speak English, net Persian.
I'm system default, your current primary voice. I speak English now, and if you set your computer voice to Persian, I can speak that too.
Here you go. So everything is done for you. So you just take it for a spin and go make some meaningful product with Dojo. We have 2 channels, Dojo Primary or Dojo Solo and Dojo Duo. Now, sometimes both agents are running, but who is going to get the speaker? You could actually send them to separate speakers, as I mentioned. One to this speaker, one to that speaker. Sometimes you say, okay, I'm going to send them to the same speaker, but I want one of them to talk at a time because I can't listen to two. Younger folks, they could focus on 10 voices. You come here and you click on Dojo Solo or alternating solo. That means one from this queue, one from that queue. And go Duo. Now they talk on top of each other. Both could speak at the same time. I like both speaking at the same time because I pick one male voice, one female voice, so I could figure out which one is which. Here is the chatty. You could say chatty, brief, talkative, and choose whatever you want. If you need to mute the audio, the voice, Dojo's voice, you mute it here. You could also mute it from the bottom left and bottom right. The volumes they put there for your convenience as well, but you could change the volume from here as well. You could change the speech rate. Of course, we did mute it, so we have to unmute it first.
I am Alex, your potential favorite primary voice.
Now I've changed the rate.
I am Alex, your potential favorite primary voice.
Why did I put the rate there? I didn't like chipmunk effect, but sometimes live voice falls behind because Dojo could put 2 pages on the screen, speaking 2 pages, and you put it on chatty. It's going to take a while. You say, look, I don't want to go to talkative. I want to hear everything, but I want to hear it faster. So you increase the rate. When you do that, then definitely you end up hearing everything. Chipmunk effect will kick in. And sometimes the queue is full and you say, look, I just want to get to the next item. You just click on, you say, hey, just skip to the next item in the queue. Skip forward, it's called. Skip forward. You could do that as well. In Dojo, sometimes you just want to go to the real time now. I don't care how many items in the queue. Just get me to real time now. Let's go to Dojo. What do? You type in sync. That means sync me up with the current real time. As soon as you do that, it drops everything for that track. This is Dojo Duo. And I highly recommend that you click on help, /help that is. So many commands that I put there for you. And these commands are for those who like the GUI, but they're still attached to the TUI, text user interface. You could stay in your comfort zone just because I made everything beautiful for you and visible and comfortable doesn't mean that you have to lose your escape key. Doesn't mean that you have to lose your / command that you've come to really like in Cloud Code and all the other agents. Just use them here. You want to resume a session, you do it. You want to change verbosity, you want to mute, unmute, show, view anything. You want to see the thoughts for the models that they have reasoning. You want to turn Telegram on and off. Sometimes you're in the middle of a session, but you have something that you need to ask. But you don't want to pollute your session because what you're asking is different than the context you're in. You're coding, but you want to know the weather for Ottawa, Canada. So what do? You use /chat. /chat doesn't get any of your current context, nothing. Doesn't even get the prime directives, which is made there for the developers. And it just does whatever that it needs to do. If you need the prime directive for developers to be there, but not the context of what are you doing, then you use side note. You say, hey, tell me about this. If you need to ask one question that should not pollute the current session, but should be aware of your context of the current session, you do a side thread. And then just watch this. I just chat and I say, what is Waterloo's temp now? And it's kind of nice. It brings tiny little cards up there because it doesn't want to pollute your session. And he's just going to go and search to see. Here we go. This found the temperature for Waterloo for you, the fastest that he could. Didn't touch your session. I call these a side note. And now you could pin it, and you could kill it, or you could say, read the audio to me. Side note would be you want to ask something that is related. What is this project about? So now he has the ability and the knowledge of software development and the general capabilities that I've given it. There we go. The beauty is that I could say, speak this, and he's going to talk it. I'm not going to do it for now. And side thread, if I type something here, it's going to know exactly what we're talking about. And I could say, hey, what do you think of the image that we had there? And because he knows the context, it's going to come and tell us. So and they're very powerful. If you need to change the models, you could click on change a model like this. But if you enjoy slash commands, just say models, and I bring the screen up for you so you could quickly change them. And let's do this.
Dojo
New
here.
session.
Fresh start. Hit the mic to talk. Or start typing. What are we working on?
Dojo here. Fresh start. Hit the mic to talk or start typing. What are we
So
working on?
we're in Dojo Duo. Just watch the Duo here as soon as I push one of the Dojos to the back. Now it's Dojo Solo, which means you have one session of Dojo that is communicating with you. At some point, you say, look, I want open code. I just like open code. Can I use that as well? Open code is somebody else's software. I cannot install it for you, but I've installed it for myself. If you install it, here, I tell you exactly how to install it. It's third party. I got to respect their terms. So you could insert it into the terminal and install it. You could copy it, manually type it in terminal, and you could look at their pricing and documentation. And I help you to install it. And when you install it, I help you to use it as fast as possible. Here you could type the command that you need to run for open code or ask me to inject it in the terminal. There you go. I installed it in the terminal. And now you have open code side by side with Dojo Solo. Sometimes we want to talk to both of them. Benchmarking is great, isn't it? So let's make it fair. I'm going to go to codecs 5.4. This guy is codecs 5.4 as well. We're both on medium. I pick audio, auto, I think it's medium. Now, Duo is the microphone. Right now, if I say solo, is going to inject a transcribed version of my voice into Dojo only because I picked on that microphone. But if I pick on the secondary here, it's going to inject it into open code. So what I do, I'm going to click on Duo. Now, the same prompt is going to be injected into both sessions, even though one is running in terminal and one is running in Dojo. I'm going to inject the same thing to both. And this is a true benchmarking. Same LLM, same account. You guys ready for it? Could you find the temperature for Washington, D.C.? Oh. Could you find the temperature for Washington, D.C. and put it in an ice table for me? There you go, side by side.
I pulled the latest available weather reading for Washington, D.C. and organized the key temperature details into a simple table, so it is easy to scan and use right away.
So Dojo, 3.8 seconds to get the temperature for Washington, D.C. and put it in a nice table. Open code held its own, 9.6 seconds. But here is, I know it's apple to apple because everything is equal. But my Dojo Solo could have hit a GPU that has more availability and returned to me quicker. By no means just because it's 3 times faster at this moment.
Primary awaits your input.
All right. By no means, that means open code is not performant. Let's do another one. We do best out of 3. I know finding the temperature is not the best thing there, but it's something that everybody could relate to. Could you find the temperature for Ottawa, Canada? There you go. Did I tell you? So 12.9 seconds for Dojo this time around.
I checked the current weather
8.6
for Ottawa,
for-
Canada. Right now,
Great.
it is 7 degrees Celsius and partly cloudy, and it feels closer to 3 degrees because of the breeze. I
One more time.
organized the result in a clean table with the main details so you can read it quickly at a glance.
And I'm getting everything that Dojo is saying. I'm getting it on my Telegram because I've turned Telegram on. And now let's one more. Give me the temperature for 3 cities: Toronto, Canada; Tokyo, Japan; Beijing, China. These should be done with your cheapest agent. And then on top of that, find the temperature for Austin, Texas yourself, and then combine them in a nice table. Remember, speed and cost is the benchmark here. You see, both of them got it at the same time. So we can't say, hey, one started before the other one. Dojo is going to create a to-do list.
I'm optimizing for both speed
properly.
and cost here. The lowest cost helper is handling the 3-city lookup in one batch, and I'm doing the Austin lookup directly on my side.
Anytime you want the
so the
to-do list to
final
come
result
back, you
comes
just
back
click
as
on
one
it, you'll see
combined
what's
table.
going on.
Agent started 3-city temperatures.
You could pin it here.
Agent completed
You could
3-city
hide it.
temperatures. I followed your cost first split, but the cheap helper failed because its environment did not expose the weather capability. Rather than waste more time retrying the same broken path, I'm finishing the lookups directly and keeping the response compact with one combined table. I used the cheapest agent route for the 3-city batch exactly as requested, but that helper environment failed on the weather lookup. To preserve speed, I finished the missing checks directly and merged them with Austin into a single clean table.
And Dojo is honest. OpenCode is honest too. But Dojo vocally came and said, hey, one of them failed. I had to do it myself. Probably I would have asked to retry, but that is the instruction that I should have given to them. So he did 3 of them. All I need is to expand to see what they did. Here you go. The information is there if you need it, and it's hidden away if you don't. Alrighty, this time around, 36 seconds versus 53. By no means, this means that OpenCode is slower. We're bound to the speed of the LLM. Just wanted to showcase how powerful Dojo is. And remember, Dojo is 1 year later into the market than OpenCode, Cloud Code, all the codes, or the CLIs. Let me do one image comparison. I'm going to give the same image to both of these guys. So let me see. Here we go. You get this image and you get this image. Please quickly describe what is this image. Now the difference between TUI and GUI. GUI, you could see exactly what I've given it. TUI, you're bound to a
The
link.
picture depicts a metallic gold dove mid-flight, carrying a small green olive branch in its beak. It has a clean, minimal background and reads as a decorative piece emblem, likely a polished digital illustration or AI-generated image rather than a natural photo.
Perfect, or what? All right. Anything else? Anything else that we should do? This is I didn't prepare for this. This is not a benchmark. I just decided to turn on the recording. With that said, I think we need to bring this to an end. So I'm gonna go here. Let's change this to another Canadian figure. There we go. Canadian beaver. Very, very mad beaver. Beaver tail. I don't know if you guys have beaver tail. If you start the application, it's going to start like this. That's how it starts. I do have Creator Studio that I'm going to talk about later and streaming. And background music, of course, is there as well. We're going to finish with some nice background music for you guys. I catch you later.
Round and round the carousel spins, the music fades then starts again. Your laughter flows, a ghostly sound, as painted horses circle round. Carousel